So, Stephen, the sort of money that you've been saying that you've been able to make, you know, with your small shareholdings in lots of companies, Stephen Mayne, with these capital raisings, will the same apply here, or because of the dilution of the shares, you can't make as much profit?
No, I've made 50 grand today.
Oh, you're a boy to know.
Well, I'll explain it. Courtesy of BlueScope, Macquarie, Aristocrat and Horizon Oil. So 14 of that is crystallised, 36,000 is on paper with BlueScope. With Rio, I might make about $50 because I have two small holdings, one in my own name and one in my wife's name, but they don't have the ability through Rio for shareholders to apply for extra shares above their entitlement to take up the slack from all those apathetic or people who haven't got the money to take it up. So this is, I mean, I don't like it from a personal point of view, but from a treating retail, this is the fairest way to raise it. I'll make nothing out of it because as a tiny shareholder, I only have a tiny entitlement. Whereas all these other capital raisings we've seen recently have been, you can apply for as many extra shares as you like, and I've just been throwing the kitchen sink at everything which is in the money. Sometimes you get scaled back, sometimes you don't. You sell them on the first day. And I've now literally made, I must be close to 120, 130 grand in 3 months on a portfolio which is worth 70 grand. So just plain the capital raisings in Australia has been very profitable.
Fantastic.
But Rio, there's no opportunity.
No, OK. Now, does this whole issue and the whole thing with Rio changing tack, does it still beg the question of why the Rio board didn't come up with some sort of similar solution, or this solution, some months ago? Stephen Mayne.
Well, I guess it took them a long time to get there, just like it took a long time for BHP to walk away, when everyone could see that you shouldn't have been taking on Rio's debt in the middle of a global credit crisis. So they did a deal with Chinalco. There was a big break fee, and Chinalco saved them. I mean, no one else was going to buy their stock. The stock was getting down into the $30s and $40 range, and Chinalco offered a big premium. But what we didn't realise was that commodity prices would go soaring up again, that we'd have the biggest correction over a 2-month period on world stock markets since the 1930s. The Australian stock market's risen 30% since the lows of March 9, and that simply made the pricing on the Chinalco deal terrible. And Rio Tinto, you know, finally their shareholders forced them into it. They got feedback. They would have voted down the deal anyway. And I think full marks to the board for walking away, paying the break fee, doing a great deal with BHP at the same time, and creating today 20 billion plus in value for all concerned. I think you have to give full credit to the Rio Tinto board for reaching the point they've reached today.